Hello YouTube, this is Mechanic 007 doing a valve adjustment on a gy6 150cc scooter. So to get this cover off, or to get the seat off, when you open the seat there's going to be 1, 2, and then down here 3, 4 bolts, and then the seat comes out. Then there's going to be 2 bolts on the battery tray, and then there will be 2 bolts holding this on, and you can pull that cover off. Then there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/16 or 8mm bolts holding on the valve cover. Then you want to head back here, undo this exhaust bolt, and then there will be 1 bolt here, and then another right there. And these screws back here are kind of hard to reach, so I just pulled this cover back, and you will see this little metal piece, and then you will see a T on the flywheel. So you just rotate the flywheel until the T lines up with that right there. Then you'll need a feeler gauge. I'm using a let me try and see if I can get this on the camera. 4/7" feeler gauge for both intake and exhaust. And you'll need a 9mm and just something to turn this. My preference is using pliers or something just to turn that little inner screw. Alright, so once you use a wrench to get that loose, you can pretty much just take the feeler gauge and put it between the valve, just like that, and then loosen the nut, and then just tighten it, and then you just want to feel a little bit of drag between the two. Just like that, you get just a little bit of drag, and then I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it up. Now that's a little bit too tight, so I'll have to loosen it. You don't want them too tight or too loose. Let's check. That's the perfect amount right there. And now we'll just do the same for the exhaust valve. Demonstrate how to loosen it. Just loosen it. This shouldn't be too tight. The exhaust valve is a little bit more tricky because it's towards the bottom and you have this emissions hose in the way. But yeah, I'll get back to you guys once I get both adjusted and show you how to put everything back together. Just adjusted the bottom valve, and now we're going to put it back together. Like I said before, you can either use a 5/16 bit or a socket or an 8mm. I'm using 5/16. So you can just take the cover, place it on the engine, and this is your crankcase breather hose that goes to your airbox. So we can just put the screws in here with the bolts. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the valve cover. To remove the crankcase breather to get to this bolt, it's just you can loosen it by hand and then just give it a twist, and it'll pop off, and then you can access the bolt. Just tighten in a crisscross pattern. Tighten this one and that one and this one and that one, and then you can just put this hose back on, the clamp back on. And that's pretty much it for the valve adjustment. So let me get everything set up and I'll show you how to put the body back together. Just slightly. I'm also going to replace the carburetor on this one, so I'm not going to put the seat back yet. But I am going to remove the spark plug and check it and clean it with a wire brush. Spark plug, this boot will be right in there, and you just pull out. And I'm using a 5/8 socket to remove the spark plug. I might need an extension. I have a 5/8 socket and an extension. Just put it there. That was really loose. And then you can just take it off the ratchet and unscrew it by hand. Takes a minute. Oh, this actually looks pretty clean. I'm gonna see if I have a spare spark plug that I could swap it with. That's the part number if you were wondering. Just use a wire brush and clean it well. Better than it did before. So screw the spark plug back in with the socket. Until you get it about hand tight like that. And you can just put the ratchet on and give it a snug. And then you can take the spark plug boot. Like this. Make sure it pops on, and then just push the little rubber seal around. Tuck the wire. Make sure it's not near this because this gets hot and so does this. So pretty much to put the cover back on, it pretty much slides into place, but sometimes it does and then it doesn't. It's kind of tricky because you need to get it underneath the body panel and then on top of the other one. But I'll get back when I get this installed. Inside of it installed, so pretty much just have to push this piece underneath and get it into this little channel here. So I'm trying to do this one-handed. Pretty much it just slots right into place. Just like that. And then you just take your screw, Phillips head screws, and you just put them on each side, just like that. And screw them down until they're snug. Same for this side. Yeah, that's how you do a valve adjustment on a gy6 150cc.